Okay, let's do commentary. If you guys have any questions, then I don't mind answering. But we're obviously going to start on critical mode because it's a level 1 crit, any percent speedrun. And any percent means that we're going to beat the game as quickly as possible. Yo, Shu, thank you so much for the 2 months. Thank you, Shu, I really appreciate it, man. And thank you for the good luck. Thank you very much. So we're doing any percent, which means beating the game as quick as possible, by any means necessary. So if there was like a glitch that glitched us to the end of the game, we'd probably use that. But yeah, so we're doing it with any percent, any worlds. We do the quickest route for the worlds to unlock the final boss and then beat him. We're doing level 1 crit, and level 1 is only doable on critical mode. You cannot do it on any other difficulty. That is different on KH3. But for KH1 and 2, you can only do level 1 on the hardest difficulty. So, in the beginning right there, I did an RNG manip. The combos that I did on Cypher were very precise, and my movement was precise too. The reason that we do it that way is because the RNG from the beginning of the game is set up the same way every time. So I know what the Dusk is going to do right here. He's going to do an upside down walk, attack, and move backwards, because I'm going to move behind him right here. And because we're on critical mode, it's going to be faster to die to him than finish the fight any other way. The fight would end after 10 hits, after we die, or that's about it. So instead of hitting him, we just die. And now that Dusk right there, we had to kill. We cannot... I don't think he can die there. I don't know if he can Death Abuse there, maybe. So Roxas World is just a tutorial world. It's like, a lot of people might remember it being really long and dragging on for too long the first time to play this game. And also another thing that you might remember doing is a couple jobs here to get enough money for the gang. But you actually only have to do one job. You can do one job and then just go back to Hainer. And I don't think that's very well known. So, I'm gonna go back there. My delivery is the fastest, by the way. The other ones are not as fast. Skateboards are obviously the best movement. This game has a lot of movement in it, but a lot of it is pretty straightforward. Like, just use the skateboard, obviously, rather than walking. Go in a straight line. This game definitely has the least amount of movement out of, like, every KH game, probably. At least it's down there. Now, for this Dusk, you can die here or do 10 hits. We're gonna do 10 hits. And the RNG is the same as... like, I know what the RNG is gonna be for that Dusk because of everything that happened before. This right here is when the RNG stops being manipulated, and the RNG is completely random now. Also, I picked the sword right there, and those 3 dream weapons only affect your ability routing. They don't affect your stats whatsoever. So that's another misconception that you might have. It doesn't actually matter what you pick on level 1 because your ability route for leveling, you're never going to get your abilities anyway from levels. So the other abilities that you get throughout the game from not leveling, those are always the same no matter what you do. So you press start here, and on critical mode, you start with a couple abilities, I think like 8, and that's where you start with no EXP. I didn't put on the Lucky Luckies because they're not necessary. If I did, then I might get an extra ether drop here and there, but it's pretty unlikely, and it just saves some time menuing. Right there I got a damage abuse, or what's it called? A damage boost, I mean. So I got hit in the air, and my speed, my momentum in the air is faster than on the ground. Peko, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thank you, Peko. I hope you enjoyed the emotes. Thank you very much. So now we're on Twilight Thorn, the first boss of the game. You can just mash triangle here. These RCs are just like a little cinematic you have to do. It's the first boss. It's pretty difficult actually on critical mode. Like, you might think the first boss is a pushover, but he's pretty hard. He's probably one of the harder bosses. we're gonna be dealing with a lot of creepers and a lot of vines. So we got introduced to the reverse RC. RC is reaction commands too. I'm gonna be referring to them as RCs because that's what they're short for. Reaction commands. But when he gets knocked down here and he's stunned, I'm gonna try to do 4 full combos. And jumping and comboing as Roxas is harder than it might seem. So that was pretty good. I got an extra hit in there too. And now I'm gonna do full combo with 2 finishers. That's one thing about critical mode, is that we got a ton of extra abilities to make the game not too boring. So critical mode in this game doesn't just make the game harder. It also gives you some abilities and benefits, like you do more damage to make the game not as boring, I would say. So right there I did a ton of reversals to dodge the vines and the creepers, and I almost died because once you get comboed outside of his head, he starts spamming the vines and the creepers are there, and it's tough. It's kind of hard to dodge everything. So yeah, one of the abilities that we got from critical mode is Finishing Plus, and I used it there. We're gonna be using Finishing Plus a lot. That's a godsend in crit. So right here, I'm gonna combo Hainer into the corner, and I'm gonna start doing air combos on him. And every time I do an air combo, he's gonna retaliate with the same side swipe. And if I dodge it, then I can start another air combo right after, and repeat until I get all the orbs. And another ability we have from critical mode is Draw. So that helps a ton in the struggle matches here. After every right. So this combo right here on Vivi is specific. We do 2 hits and then a full combo with 2 finishers. And the point is that it knocks them away from us and allows us to walk away from the attack. Then we do another 2 finishers there and use arrow recovery to recover from the hits, and then do another ground combo, and that just so happens to be just enough damage to beat Phoebe. And now we have a Dusk fight here. 3 Dusks. The same as the fight before Twilight Thorn. I like doing the reverse RC to kind of reset my combo and reset the Dusks. And I try to like hit more than 1 Dusk at a time with my attacks. And another thing I do is I don't do the finisher of all my air combos, because if I do the finisher, then it knocks the Dusk away from you. And you want to do the combos as quickly as you can. So you don't want to fling all the Dusks everywhere. Now on Axel, I did a full air combo to stagger him at the start, and then I did 2 more air combos. And then when he attacked after the 3rd air combo, I was able to jump away from him and get some hits in, and then start another air combo, and I got clipped right there, so I had to catch him again, but it takes about 6 air combos to beat him. Now on Setzer, we're going to be attacking him, which forces a retaliation, and we want to die in this fight because it's much faster than winning, and we also get the medal from losing. And you would think you would get a better item from winning, but actually the medal is better than the belt for a speed run, because the medal gives you +1 strength and the belt gives you some defense. So with that 1 strength, it actually makes a gigantic difference. We can kill things in like one less hit, and even some bosses we can beat with a couple less hits. So wait, I messed up this menu. Okay, we're gonna turn off Sunman animations and put on the medal here. Oh, it gives you resistance, like elemental resistance, right? So now we are in the 7 Wonders portion of the game. First up is Ball Wall. All you have to do is walk around the balls. They always spawn in the same place. So if you know the pattern, you can just walk up to it. I can't imagine how hard that would be if they were random. It would definitely be harder and slower. Now VV clones. VV clones are actually kind of annoying to fight here early on in the game. Because of that, I try to do air hits on them to... they die in one hit, so you just gotta get them, and every time they spawn, they dodge and do an attack. And their attack flings you away, so you gotta dance around them and hit them without getting hit by them after they attack. And it's quite annoying to deal with them. You can use a lot of time right there. But now we're moving on to Shadow Roxas. And Jinton's bowing like really loudly, what the heck. On Shadow Roxas, this is where the metal really comes in handy. We can cut out like maybe a full air combo on him. So I'm just gonna do air combos and knock him into the corner, and hopefully he stays in the corner. And as I mentioned before, the air combos are not easy to do. So right there I dropped it. I pressed the attack button before I could, because you need to time your attack precisely there. But we got past them, we're good. Now we're coming up on the bag minigame. And this minigame you can just mash triangle. If you're unlucky, then the game will crash if you press triangle at the wrong time. It's a weird crash that's been known in every version of the game. But it doesn't happen often. Throw away the whole run. And we're towards the end of Roxas Road now too. Okay. No, Sephiroth is an incentive. So now we're gonna go up, talk to the bag, or go back to the hill where the bag minigame was. And then we're gonna walk back to the mansion. And there's not much going on here. This is probably where we would get donations in. Or maybe explain something else. I don't know. Yeah, there's a set fee incentive. What happens? What happens? What? No, it doesn't take longer. You just gotta do the Balwa, Vivi Clones, Shadow Roxas, and bag minigame. I missed that, hang on. Wait, did I miss something? Thought I did. My note, it doesn't show up in my stream labels. Okay, so in this fight, we're going to definitely use like we did in some of the other fights. Normally we would actually fight this out, and a lot of fights, you'll see it's a pattern. Normally we'd fight out a lot of fights to get the EXP, but because we're doing level 1, the benefit is that we don't have to worry about levels at all. And so we can die in that fight, and it saves a good amount of time. Thank you, Generic Gamer. So now we're heading to the mansion, and we're about to end up finishing Roxas Road, ending Roxas Road. Casually, this place takes like maybe 4 hours, 3 hours, because the cutscenes are so long in this world. And there's a lot of cutscenes in the game in general. But if you cut out all the cutscenes, the game is sped up significantly. I'm gonna grab this chest because it has a potion. And I'm gonna leave potions equipped on Sora for quite a while because... actually for the whole game. Because it is a lot safer to have them on. We're not to the point where we don't have potions equipped. I don't think that'll ever happen in Crit. Yeah, just for fun. No reason. No, just for fun. If it's something that, if I do something that makes me go faster, I'll probably explain it. So right here, we're gonna do 2 hits again and do a lot of reversals. Again, I'm trying to group them up so that I can hit them all at the same time. And even doing a ground hit every now and then is good because it does a swipe that is wider range. So get rid of the dust. After you kill 3 dusts is when the assassins spawn. And one thing you can do is hit the assassin and he should blow up here. Except he didn't do it. Okay. I'm not gonna do that in the marathon. But there's like a chance that he blows up, but I think it's like a 50-50. So in runs I do it sometimes, but I'm not gonna do it in GDQ. But yeah, after three dusts die, 2 assassins spawn. And you want to catch the assassin before they go underground because getting them out of underground is really annoying. So now I walk around and do 2 ground hits on Axel 2, and then do a full ground combo, plus a full air combo. And that sends him into the wall. Then we do the reaction commands. We don't do the second part of the reaction command because it's slower, and it's not necessary to beat him. And we just do a full air combo to finish him out there. And that's just enough damage to beat him. No, I have been VG. Actually, the past like three or so races I did. So now we're done with Roxas Road. We actually get to play with Sora now. In this menu, what I'm going to be doing is fixing up Donald and Goofy's customization, which changes the way that they attack. So they default on Technic Attack, and there's a lot of different options there, like Sora Attack and Party Attack are the ones we're going to be using the most. On Party Attack, they attack enemies that Sora is not attacking. So it's the most convenient because they're going to be... they can focus on other enemies that we're not fighting. And on Sora Attack, they don't attack anything at all. They just follow you around. And Sora Attack is going to be good for later on in the game, but for now, we want Party Attack. And in this fight, we can do the same thing. We can Death Abuse here. This fight either ends after a minute and a half, 100 hits, or dying. There's a dab. Now we go towards the shadows. We're in the tower now. I'm going to grab this potion too. So now our inventory is full of potions. And it's going to stay that way for a little bit. This is another fight that we Death Abuse, but we have to be careful because Donald and Goofy can interrupt the shadows, like Donald just did. But it takes 3 hits to die, and we got it there. Gonna pick up the ether right there. There are maybe 1 or 2 ether chests that we pick up in the run. They're quite handy for the entire game, actually. MP and Magic. Magic summons, drives, they're all extremely good for the speedrun. So we're gonna use them as much as we can. And now for the shadows, I just like to do air combos, air hits. The reason that we do air hits, by the way, is because air combos are faster than ground combos. At the moment, anyway. There might be times when I want to do a ground combo because of the type of attack that my ground combo has. But generally, air combos are faster all around. And right there, we just try to rely on Donald and Goofy to help us out. Now we're coming up on another fight here. It's going to be the same, but we have soldiers now. And the soldiers, there is a trick here. You can do 2 hits, land, and then do another hit. And most of the time, they'll do a Cyclone RC. Sometimes they don't, and you just get unlucky. But we try to bait out the Cyclone by doing 3 hits on them. So this guy should do it. And then we try to hit all 3 right there. I missed one. It's kind of random where the 3rd one heads, but we just try to do a lot of cyclones because it does the most damage. So that was a pretty good fight. And now we just finish up the tower here. Right here in early game, we're not going to have many tools. So all I can do is attacks, like Keyblade hits. But we're going to grab our first drive form and our first spell. Yeah, we do have our C boost. That's true. So our C boost is another ability that we start with on critical mode that makes all reaction commands do more damage. And that's going to help out a lot in early game too. It makes a huge difference. So now we're heading to Hollow Bastion. This is where you're going to see that level 1 is like really weak compared to every other difficulty. In early game in general, the first hour of the game, your damage output is really small. We call it chip damage. But the game scales your damage output later on in the game. And I'll explain more on that later. But for this fight, we're going to def abuse the same way. And the reason I entered Vader form right there is for movement. So we run faster in Vader form. And that's the thing that we're going to be abusing for the whole run, is using drive forms for movement. Why are they suddenly red? And we're able to skip grabbing the ledge right there too in Vader. So there's some like neat movement tricks like that that appear in the run. Now here we are in Bailey. And this fight is not fun for a speedrun. It's very, it's a huge reset point for a lot of runners. So we try to knock the dusks at the start towards the gate to kind of group them up, and then I can use a blizzard. And I want to hit as many as I can. They're really apart right now. And if you look at my damage, it's really bad. So that's why I try to blizzard them, because I get to hit more than one at a time, and blizzard does a bit more damage. So I want to be in the middle, right when the last dusk dies, and the reason is because the samurai spawn here, and I want to guard the samurai and enter the dual stance RC. Now the dual stance RC will do splash damage all around the samurai, and it is the most effective way to do damage here in the Bailey fight. There's about 5 samurai, and they more spawn after you kill the rest of them. And there's another wave of dust coming up here after all the creepers are dead. So a lot of fights in this game, the way that enemies spawn, you have to kill a specific wave of enemies before the next wave spawns. It doesn't matter if I kill all the samurai. You have to kill the creeper, and then the last dust will spawn. So we got rid of all the samurai. We got pretty lucky with the dual stances. Sometimes you can't get a dual stance out, and sometimes they don't hit anything. But I was able to get them off right there, and we got through without many issues. I didn't really take a hit there, but if you saw me take a hit from the samurai, you would see how easy it is to die in this game. I think I get about 3 shot, maybe 4 shot from the samurai. Yeah, I'm forgetting to split. It's okay. Alright guys, test time. What did I do in the tower? No, I'm kidding. Alright, thanks, I guess. I think here we just do donations. Well, real quick, I'll explain that we do Beast Castle as opposed to Land of Dragons, because Hero's Crest and Trinity Limits are going to help out in Land of Dragons a lot more than they would in Beast Castle. but I will play ads now. HDQ to play ads. Wait, I did the dab, didn't I? I dabbed earlier. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, you probably shouldn't point it out. Alright. Yeah, I don't, I can give Nightbot a lifetime sub. If he's not subbed, though. He has to be not subbed, I think, to give it to him. No, it's fine. No, yeah, I can give Nightbot a free sub that's for, like, forever. But he has to be not subbed for me to give it to him because of Twitch being a platform that exists on the internet. Anyway. So now we're heading to Beast Castle. And, we're gonna start off the world here with another fight where we can def abuse. And it's the same thing as before. I don't want Donald and Gippy to interrupt the shadows. I just want to take hits here.
Let's go.
We're gonna go into Valor form for the movement again. The cool thing about Valor form is that if you press square when you're on the ground, you'll do like a hop, like a lunge attack, I guess. You like jump forward and attack, and it can be pretty speedy to do that uphill, like right here, for example. So now we talk to the wardrobe, and this is pretty much always 3 cycles. There is a myth out there that you can get to that I don't think is possible, but I have gotten 4 cycle here after being extremely unlucky. But anyway, we're going to do Thresholder now. Thresholder is actually one of the harder fights too, so I can easily die here. I've died here a lot. We start out the fight with the Blizzard, and the reason we do Blizzard is because it will force him to do the knockaway attack, where he like tries to push you guys away. And these gargoyles are extremely powerful, and they take a lot of hits to kill. So the way that we kill them is by guarding their attack. And after the guard, we get the release RC, and the release RC automatically kills them in 1 shot. So we actually want to get rid of them before we start attacking Thresholder, because if we don't, then they're gonna easily kill us. They're extremely problematic. And now after they're dead, the bats spawn, and we can use Bat Cry, which is a lot more damage, a lot more quickly than air combos are. So I try to Bat Cry whenever I can, and I actually don't want Donald to kill them all, but he's killed most of them now. So we have to do regular air combos on the last phase here. Now, you can beat Thresholder in 1 cycle, but that is only doable on beginner mode for the most part. On level 1, it's definitely not possible. So we're gonna enter Valor form to finish off the fight. And the reason that I waited to enter Valor form is because I don't want to lose all of my drive gauge before I end the fight and before I enter the room after. Because the way that drive works in this game, whenever your party members are not in your party, you get all your drive back if you were in a form or had a summon out before you got to that room. So because I'm in Valor form and I entered a room where my party members are not in my party anymore, I got all my drive back. And so we're going to be using that mechanic a lot throughout the game to make sure we never had to grind our drive. No, I don't think you can get 18 magic in level 1 BG. I don't know what you would do before Thresholder.
This'll do the trick.
And so this minigame, we just have to guide Miss Pot to the end. Pretty easy minigame, self-explanatory. It's possible for like 18 magic. Right now I probably have like 7 or something now. Yeah, I have really low. Randomizer, you have a lot more. No, even if you do damage, you need more still. You need like 15. I'm pretty like I mean, I don't know, I'm pretty sure. So on Beast here, we're gonna do some Valor hits before Valor runs out and just deplete the gauge. And it's possible to do some air combos without doing the wake up RC to stun him, like that I just did at the end there, but it's quite risky. You get, I think you get 3-shot by him, but he can be scary sometimes. It's not worth risking it. So now we're gonna put Goofy in the party for Valor form, and we're gonna take all of Beast's items, and that's a theme that you're gonna see in the run, is taking all of a party member's items. So we warp over here, and then warp back to the parlor, and that's another thing you'll be seeing throughout the run, is save warping. So because the load times in this game are so fast on PS4, we can use the save point to warp out and warp back in on a different save point, and that saves time over having to walk all the way to that other room. I also put on the upper slash ability in the menu, which you're going to see me use in the fight after this one. So in this fight, because our damage is so bad on level 1, we're gonna wait until he goes into one of these, I guess, I don't really know what these are, pillars? And after we release him from this pillar right here, he's gonna be stunned for a while. And this is the first time that we get to use the limit. And the limit does the most amount of damage we can do. So after doing the damage right there, we're just gonna dodge his attack, and we actually want our MP to come back all the way before Dark Thorn. So I'm gonna chill out here for a minute and just wait a sec, and then finish him off here. And it's actually better to do that as opposed to finishing him as fast as you can, because we really need our MP for the beginning of Dark Thorn. No, it's not for a video. This is it's gonna be Spike and Hobbs. So now we do Twin Howl. at the start of the fight. That's why we wanted our MP to come back. And we're not going to do the finisher like we didn't do last time. The reason we don't do the finisher that I just did is because we don't want him to do the RC attack right here. But I can wait. So now I just enter Vader form and do air hits. And now he's going to retaliate with that grab move, but if I jump over him, then I can avoid it. Unfortunately, I got hit by it. But even if I do get hit by it, it's actually not the end of the world because I get to do my upper slash ability that I equipped earlier. And after 3 ground combos with upper slash, I get to do a limit. And he retaliates right as I enter the limit. And after retaliation, he gets stunned, and I'm able to finish him up in Beast Minute. So that's the safest way to handle that fight. Otherwise, he uses a Chandelier, and that can one-shot you. He also has the his like DM where he jumps around, and that does that's really hard to avoid too, especially in Vader form, and the Dark Boss. So we try to avoid any risk. And now is a good time for donations. What do you mean, VG? Between Shadowstalker and Darkthrone, your MP is not destroyed. You thought Bobby? No, Bobby's gonna be the host. So he's gonna be the one reading off donations. Thank you, Equations. GG's, dude. Oh yeah, DMs. Okay, I'll explain what DMs are then. I mean, I should have explained it when I mentioned the word, but DMs are desperation moves. And generally when a boss DMs, the entire room will become dark and the boss will become invincible. And it's basically their last ditch effort, their last attack, their strongest attack. You might see it later on in the run, but we try to avoid all of the ones that we can. But I'll play some ads. Oh, I see what you're saying, VG. No, what happened is that during the opening cutscene of Darkthrone, your MP is recharging still. Like during opening cutscenes in general, your MP is still recharging. It's like how Stitch can lick you during this cutscene too. Yep. Man. Commentary is hard. We have a $5 donation from Aranek that says, long-time viewer, first-time donator. Orb. Thank you, VG. We have another donation from VG Master that says, pausers. That says, you can one-cycle dress shoulder with Trinity. We have a donation from Zax. Wait, this says pausers. Long-time donator, first-time viewer. Orb pausers. I have a donation from Captain Xion that says, Good luck. Thanks, Armin. Pauses. Long time viewer, first time pausers. Okay, entering Olympus Coliseum. Now, Olympus Coliseum is one of the scariest fights in the speedrun. So in this run, we are entering Olympus at level 1 with no armor. The route has evolved to a point now where we don't get any armor whatsoever. The fire resistance would help a lot for Haze Escape. But I'm not actually sure if it makes a difference on level 1. Either way, we're gonna walk down this path. Unfortunately, you cannot use any forms in the underworld. So you can see that the drive gauge is chained off. We can only walk there. I use the Lancers to damage boost to get some more speed. And they do half our HP. So I'm gonna cure before entering the next room so that my HP is full and I can get another damage boost off. And now this is the main reason why I have 3 potions equipped right now. Haze Escape, you get 2-shot by basically everything in the fight. And you can easily get sniped after every hit. So having 3 potions is the safest thing to have. But I can still die very easily. So right here in this fight, I did a full combo and a cure on Donald and Goofy. And because I hit Donald and Goofy, the game counts those cure hits as hits to end the fight. And now I took off Thunder and put on Fire for Donald. And the main reason is so that he does not thunder the bats. And I get to use Bat Cry. And so bats will actually consistently give you Bat Cry if Sora attacks them. But it has to be Sora attacking them. Otherwise, they'll randomly do their Bat Cry attack. So this wave is where it gets scary. I have Orange Limit for safety. So we're gonna guard the Lancers and get them kind of grouped up here with the Shadows. And then spam Fire. After we take a hit from Hades, we enter a Limit. And hopefully Orange Limit will kill all the Lancers. If you're lucky, Hades won't hit you there. Or he'll shoot fireballs at your party members. Or like your party members can tank the fireballs. Like Orin can tank a lot of fireballs. And that's kind of what you rely on in this fight. But what Hades does is completely random. And the reason why it's so scary is because you can't kill Hades. He is always there and you can't even damage him. So we rely on the Bat Cries, like I said before. I was able to get both the Lancers with that. I try to align the Bat Cries so that it hits everything. And now the large body has a lot of one-shot moves that we try to avoid. So I'm going to kill with the large body first, because it is definitely the scariest enemy here. And now I'm going to take the Lance Tug RC. And there's only one Lancer left. I can Blizzard him, I think. And we got him. Okay. So yeah, that was a pretty quick Hades escape. I got lucky with the positioning of everything. That fight is just a thing that can go... it can go really bad, really fast. If Hades were to hit me out of RC. Or he would spam fireballs the entire fight. Now we're heading up to Cerberus. And you're gonna see a new mechanic here. Now, if you die in this game to a certain pool of fights, you can get Mickey to save you. And we're going to be dying on purpose here because Mickey will be a faster wave dealing damage compared to fighting him out as Sora. And now the way that Mickey works is that the first time that you die in a fight that you can get Mickey in, it's a guaranteed Mickey. But after I use Mickey here, every other fight I die in that can have Mickey is going to have a lower chance of getting Mickey. And it gets lower and lower per Mickey usage until it reaches about maybe 50%, I think. But as you can see right there, I took like a third of my HP from one hit from Cerberus, and that's a level 1 thing. See, now I'm one hit away from dying as Mickey, and that would be bad because I haven't beaten Cerberus yet. So you wait for the MP to come back, and then use Pearl. And you can't actually kill Cerberus as Mickey. You have to be Sora to kill him. So I'm gonna dodge the fireballs and perform a finisher on him. And now, what finishers are is an attack that you can use to kill a boss. And that's because bosses in this game don't die to any attack. You have to do a finisher to them. So spells count as finishers. The last hit of your combo will count as a finisher. And some random hits like upper slash and horizontal slash later on count as finishers. But any regular hit won't kill them. And now we're heading to urns. There's a couple minigames in the run. This one is really good because of critical mode, and we have draw because of critical mode, and it makes the minigame a lot faster. We're just collecting 20, so we need to destroy 7 urns. If I can math correctly. Now the second one here. We want to destroy as many little urns as we can, and that will spawn the big urn. We need to get 100. And the way that the big urn works is that if you knock it into the smaller urns, it'll drop a lot of big orbs, and the big orbs give you 10 each. So, want to destroy as many small ones as you can. If you don't destroy enough small ones, then it doesn't spawn. But we should be fine there. So now we knock it towards the urns. What? Oh yeah, and because we're outside of the underworld, we can use Vader forms for the small movement here. The drive form load is extremely fast on PS4. It's pretty much instant, so we get to use it, and it's faster to actually use the form and use it for movement than to not use the form at all. And now we're gonna walk towards well, we're approaching the final gauntlet of Olympus here. I might grab that ether in the marathon for safety, but right now I'm gonna skip it. Oh yeah, the power boost. So I picked up a power boost after urns, and we actually are allowed to use stat boosts in the speedrun. The thing is though that the stat boost only affects Land the Dragons, I believe, because we're gonna be using Hero's Crest and the power boost, and those combined gives us just enough strength for it to matter. So now for Demix, we have Donald Fire for Demix here, and Donald's Fire destroys all of the water clones. So this goes by really fast when Donald uses his fire, but it's a very luck-based fight. You just want to spam the water clone RC. This is a prep for the GDQ run. Okay, so now we're entering Pete. This Pete fight is actually a timed fight, and it always lasts the same amount of time no matter what happens in the fight. So what we actually do is kill all the bats here, and then I'm going to just make sure Meg doesn't die. And now if you attack Pete, he does his pinball attack. And what I'm going to do is force him to repeat the pinball attack over and over again and just wait until the fight is over. the damage that we do to him here will not carry over to the actual fight that we're going to be doing after the time to fight. So it doesn't matter if I do any damage to him right now. And I'd rather him not summon the soldiers like he just did. I could kill them for money, and it might help me buy an extra ether, but I don't find it worth it. You can't kill him in this fight. I think he just doesn't die. So now we walk forward and do Vader form. We got unlucky because he did pinball, but we're gonna back cry and hopefully hit him outside of the pinball right there. Now we're gonna rely on back cry, and I'm gonna try to focus on the ghosts first, because the ghosts are extremely scary in this fight. The reason that they're so scary is because I need to heal twice after getting hit by them, because one potion actually doesn't heal enough HP. So one is still alive. I'm gonna focus on Pete here. Alright, cool. I probably played that a bit too risky. Maybe in the marathon I wouldn't do that. But I try to kill the bats before attacking Pete. Oh, I didn't do the thing. Okay. In the Beast Castle menu, if you press the select button on items, you can activate the tutorial early, and doing that allows you to skip some tutorial pages when I press start in that menu. So what I did was put on Trinity Limit and use a power boost. Again, the power boost is not going to matter for Hydra, and it's only going to matter for pretty much a couple fights in Land of Dragons. And the reasoning for that is because this game has damage scaling. So what it does is, no matter what level, no matter what your strength is, you will not do less damage than the game wants you to do depending on the fight. So even if I had 1 strength as opposed to 3, I would still be doing the same damage to Hydra right here. And the reason that that's in the game is that level 1 is actually possible, and it doesn't take like 1,000 hits to kill 1 head here. So it just makes the game a lot more manageable on level 1. And you're gonna see it come into effect a lot in endgame and final fights. But we still do a lot less damage than you would if we were to level up. So we're gonna use Trinity Limit here. And the amount of hits that we get during the Trinity part determines how many hits we do in the finisher. Because the actual beginning in Trinity doesn't do any damage whatsoever. It's just the finisher that does damage, and it's dependent on the amount of hits you get. And so we try to hit as many heads as we can with the Trinity, but it's a very random limit. So I'm hoping that's enough hits to kill, and it was. I don't know what you mean, Infinitum. Because damage scaling has been in the game since launch.
Oh? Hey, wait a minute. Yup, looks like.
So that's Olympus. We got past it without dying. Okay. I mean, this game is pretty old, to be fair. Like 2004, 5 when it came out. But so here we're in 100 Acre Wood. That's gonna be the only time. This will be the only time that you see 100 Acre Wood. Then we have to do a fight here. We can Death Abuse. That fight ends after you kill the shadows and the soldiers, or if you die. So we just die right there. Go back to Pooh. And 100 Acre Wood is completely optional. It's the first completely optional world that we run into. There are other optional worlds that you will see later on. You do not have to finish every world to beat the game. But now we're gonna head to LOD
Sure is exciting.
and play some ads and read some donations. Thank you so much for. We have a 500-bit donation from Aranek that says pausers, and now we'll play ads. Thank you, Aranek. I appreciate it. I'm gonna yeet you, Armin. What the fuck, dude? Okay. Bum bum. Bum bum. We have a $10 donation from Armin that says. Sorry. Bum, 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 bum. This is where we sing songs. How's it go? Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? You're the saddest bunch I've ever met, and you can bet before we're through, Mr. Owl, make a man out of you. Be your man, be your man. I don't remember the song though. I sent it to the Geek Band. Be our man. What do you mean? Be our man. Be our man. Oh, one quick thing to explain in the gummies. I try not to kill many ships in the gummies because the more ships that you kill, the more pop-ups that could show up at the end of the gummy mission, and so it's just safer to not kill anything. But if you're running the game, it's not a big deal. It only wastes a couple seconds. It's not really a huge deal. So what I'm gonna do here is do some more customization. So what I did right there was put Donald to Relentless Attack, and the reason for that was mainly for a world, I think the next world, yeah, for Town of Speedrun. But we're gonna worry about that later on. For now, we're using fires on the shadows because fire is a ring-like spell, and it's an AoE spell that is really useful for shadows, because whenever the shadow goes underground and comes back up, sometimes there's one frame where you can catch them before they go back underground, and if you use a fire during that frame, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit them before they go back underground. So it saves a lot of time to use fire on these guys, and other than that, we get to hit them all at once. So I'm gonna swap out Donald now and enter Valor form, and the reason I went to the second mission first is so that I could use Valor form in this moment here after killing the shadows, and use Valor form to defeat the Assault Riders, which are actually really scary enemies if you're not on Valor. And while I'm in Valor form, my strength stat is just barely above the scaling that the game does, as I mentioned before, because of the power boost, I think. So we're just going to try to line up. Another thing to mention is that when I do a air combo in Valor form, if you press square in the middle of your air combo, you get to go instantly to your finisher. And you can do the same thing on a ground combo too. And that's not a thing that you can do in any other form. That's a particular thing in batter form, where you get to go straight to your finisher attack. And the finisher attack does more damage in batter because we have Hero's Crest on, which has air combo boost, and that's what the ability does. And that's really cool about this game, is that there's so many different intricacies to the combat that we get to take advantage of in the speedrun. And this game is super well balanced too, because we don't have a one go-to spell or anything that we use for every fight. It's always a mixture of different things that we have. So right now I'm going to be using thunders to catch the shadows. It's not easy to time the thunder to catch them outside of the floor, but it's important that I reach the re-drive gauge before I finish the missions off, because I'm gonna enter Valor form for the fight after this one. And I should hit it here. Yeah, I try to time it well so that I can enter it. And I get to use it as the last hit of the fight, so that the load time of entering the form happens during the finishing screen. So now we use Valor for movement and for mountain climb. Now mountain climb can be really scary because there's so many enemies that spawn here. But because we're on level 1, we don't have to worry about actually killing them. For EXP, we can just run through. And if you time your RC right here correctly, you can stun both Nightwalkers as they try to hit you. And now we jump up here, and if you're fast enough, you can do this RC, knock the Assault Rider up, and nothing hits you, and then you can finish the mountain climb. And now we can use Valor form to get to the cave fight. That's another example of the quick attack we can use in Valor for movement right there. And now because my Prime members are gone, or Goofy is gone rather, because you need Goofy to enter Valor, I got my drive back. So on the Assault Rider, we're gonna do 3 air combos to beat him. It's important that we get rid of the Assault Rider first, because they can like one-shot me. If not two-shot, but they're very scary. They're really scary enemies. You want to make sure they're dead before you focus on the shadows. So I was a bit overzealous with my fires, because I don't have much MP now. But they're all grouped up here. You want to walk into a corner and get the shadows to be grouped up so that your fires kill everything at once. But on level 1, you don't have that much MP to work with. Or at least you have to use a lot more fires than usual. So I'm going to focus on one Assault Rider here, and then focus on the other one. Hopefully keep him stunned. After the shadows are dead, the 2 Assault Riders spawn. And you just want to make sure that you can kill one without the other one interrupting you. We also have Trinity Limit, which is a very good safety thing to use if I ever got hit there. So now we use Valor form for movement again, and head up to the summit. Now the boat towers actually give you 20 money per boat tower. And that is quite a bit. It helps out, because later on in the run we're going to be buying ethers. But, and the rapid thrusters don't give you any money, so they're not important to kill at all. So I'm going to try to kill the boat towers when they spawn. They spawn about 30 seconds in, right there. But it's not a huge deal, like I don't want to die, obviously. I don't want to be too risky here. It would just be nice to get some extra money in for safety. And I also have Trinity Limit to use if I get in a bad situation here. You want to do the Rapid Thruster RC to deal a lot of damage. Yes, Armin. Now we're gonna equip Slide Dash, which is actually a very, very good ability that we're gonna be using in the run a lot. Slide Dash closes the gap, a really big gap between you and the enemy, from the ground, and that's a good example of how air combos are generally faster, but because we have Slide Dash now, it's gonna be faster for us to use Slide Dash if an enemy is really far away from us on the ground. And right there, I picked up the Ether. I didn't pick it up earlier when I entered the world because I was a bit closer to it from the save point than I was when I docked. So we're gonna Slide Dash and take a hit from the Assault Rider, and he pushes us towards the wall, the room here. Can target lock onto the cart and do another Slide Dash for faster movement. And now this fight could be a bit scary, but because we have Trinity now, I can do one part of Trinity, and that should end the entire fight.
Let's go.
Delayed? That's kind of weird. Now we're gonna enter Valor form for the beginning of Shan Yu. Now I'm gonna do a safe strat here. There's a faster strat, but it doesn't work for me that often. So I'm gonna do a safer strat for GDQ, I'm pretty sure. So what I'm gonna do is hope that I don't kill the Nightwalkers with my RC right there. I just did, which is a bit unfortunate, but I think he spawned more. And now we're going to try to push him. Yeah, he did spawn more. So we're gonna push him into his next phase, which is at about 1 bar of HP. So he's there now. And when he gets there, I'm gonna use Trinity Limit and get all of the Nightwalkers and Shan Yu in the limit if I can. And then do every part of Trinity here. And now this Trinity should kill every enemy in the fight other than Shan Yu. Now even the bird is gone. Oh! What? What? What just happened? I've never seen that before. Thank you so much, Deku, for the 5 months. Thank you, Deku. I appreciate it, man. What? That's never happened. I've never, ever happened before. I've never seen that happen to anyone before. That's crazy. Dude, what? I've never seen that. It's so weird. After the Trinity, because the bird is dead, I can just do ground combos on him and finish him off that way.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna use Valor form for the beginning of Disney Castle. And go over towards here. Now most of the chests in this game just have like random synth items and maybe potions. Some might have AP boost. But we routed the game to where we don't need many AP boosts or ethers or potions. So we just skip them.
This way.
Now we're gonna do a neat strat here where we push Minnie onto the wall, and now we relocate that rodent into the ending there, because it's much faster to do it this way than to actually use the RC. Hang on. Okay. It can be a bit scary if the bombs try to interrupt you, but if you push it properly, you can skip doing the RC, and it saves a lot of time. But we can't do it in this room because the wall is really far away and it's really hard.
This way.
So we're just gonna do the RC whenever there's a boat tower nearby and get to the ending. there's no reason to kill these guys. They do drop money,
Let's go.
but it's not worth killing them for the money and picking it up.
Let's go.
And obviously, the EXP would be nice in it, and if we're not doing level 1, but we're doing level 1.
This way. Let's go. This way.
I don't know either, VG.
This way. Let's go.
The bird was dead. Yeah, or he should have been dead. Oop. So now we're gonna go to Hollow Bastion for a quick cutscene, and then it takes us back into Disney Castle here. So now we're entering Timeless River. We're gonna enter Valor form before entering the Boat Pete fight. Ode Pete fight. This fight allows us to do combos without any punishment. So you just keep waiting on him in the air. We'll never attack if you keep him stun locked. There's a mechanic in this game that I haven't gotten to yet that this boss did not have. It's called Revenge Value. And Revenge Value is basically what causes the boss to retaliate after you do a certain amount of hits on them. So because that guy didn't have Revenge Value, I was able to wail on him and stun lock him forever. But later on, pretty much every other boss in the game is going to have Revenge Value, and that is what stops us from being able to just infinitely stun lock every boss in the game. But it's going to become a lot more relevant later on. So for now, we're going to be doing the RC with Chicken Little out. The reason I summoned Chicken Little was because of his whistle that brings in all the heartless nearby. It can be hard to get him to cooperate all the time. But thankfully he was cooperating there and bringing in all of the hammers. The hammers can two-shot me, I think, so they're pretty scary. These airplanes are also really scary. Pretty much every enemy right now is going to be really scary. So we use fires to hit them all at the same time and do a bit more damage. I'm going to use an ether right here after doing 2 thunders. And the thunders knock them up high enough that Chicken Little decides to whistle them again. That's the main reason why I do thunders, and it also does a lot of damage. Now, more fires. Just fires and then a finisher. The finisher knocks them away really far, so it generally will cause Chicken Little to whistle them back in. And we can just keep the Heartless stun locked that way. The safest option for dealing with them, and the fastest too. And now we're gonna do window 4. And summon Chicken Little now. And 2 fires is enough to kill all the enemies here. And now we're gonna wait for all of the rapid thrusters to spawn and then do 2 more fires. I missed one here. It's fine. And the reason we did the windows out of order like that is because after every window, the reason we have our drive back is because the game puts us back into the pier where we have, or the cornerstone hill, where we have, where we don't have party members anymore. But after we do this window, we're gonna have party members outside, and therefore we're going to have. Hang on, let me not die here. I messed this up. So we wanna kill everything before the last wave and then activate Trinity. And one part of Trinity will kill every car here. And the reason Trinity is so strong in that room is because there's there's like the 3 fires aside from the cars that it can hit for a lot of hits. and the less enemies that the finisher is hitting, the more damage it'll do. So because the fires die so quickly, the damage instantly becomes a lot faster for the cars. And we're gonna be abusing that mechanic a lot more. But as you can see, our drive, well, our party members were out earlier after the last window, and therefore we wouldn't have gotten our drive back if I had Chicken Little out. And we don't want to use Chicken Little here, we want our drive to come back during the Pete fight. So what I'm going to do is Thunder and then grab the crane. And if we Thunder and then grab the crane, the Thunder damage actually comes out. Which is a neat mechanic here. Otherwise the Thunder wouldn't have done any damage if we didn't grab the crane after. And now, the reason that we put Donald the Relentless attack earlier in the Land of Dragons menu is so that he can spam Thunder and Fire on the box here. And because Donald and Goofy are wailing on the box, the crate, we're able to get one cycle pretty reliably. The other trick we have to do though is pause before every finisher, because if the RC shows up before we do the finisher, then we won't be able to finish the finisher animation before it knocks us off the crate. And if that happens, then he spawns bombs, and you have to kill the bombs, and then you get back on. But it wastes too much time, and you won't get one cycle that way. So, we cut it close, but we got one cycle there. And now we're gonna do Pete's, and Pete is a pretty scary fight. I want to keep Donald and Goofy both alive during the first phase. So what I'm gonna do is 2 ground combos, and then Blizzard him to make him retaliate. And old Pete hitting him right there actually helped me out a little bit. I'm gonna play it safe and just wait around. Okay. So Pete is a little bit different in that after every phase, his revenge value goes lower and lower. And as I mentioned before, revenge value is what determines when the boss retaliates after you attack them. So the later on in the fight you get, the less combos you're allowed to do before he attacks you back. And so I'm going to be going to Vader form to get my HP back and also to do some more damage faster. We were able to use Trinity in the second room because there were so many fires in that room, but the other rooms are not like that, and we had to actually fight them out. And I'm doing air combos because it deals the most damage here. I want him to do the ball throwing move because not only do I get to do a slide dash, but I also get to knock the ball back into him, which does more damage faster. And now at the ending here, I'm gonna do 2 RCs into a Trinity limit, and this Trinity limit should do just about enough damage to beat him, and that's the fight. I didn't get hit too much, which is good. That fight can go really bad if your party members die. Which is another big reason why we have potions equipped, because party members need to stay alive in certain fights, or else the fight is completely ruined. I don't know, VG. Alright, I'll play some ads during the gummy.
This sure is exciting.
We have a $25 donation from August that says Itu. I actually didn't play the ads, there we go. Am I handling? How are you handing? I don't know. No, I've done it a lot before. I've done commentary runs before, but it's always like my throat always hurts by the end of it. Like my throat already hurts, but that's the nature of commentary. If you meet like if you go to a GDQ and you see like Spike and like Kung Fu or like Hobbs or just anyone who's doing like the event, their voice is like completely dead by the end. Like they don't have a voice on the last day just because of how much talking you have to do. It'd be like that. The fuck is that emo? Oh, Patty. Well, okay, so one thing that we can probably mention before donations here is anti-form. So you might be wondering, because if you've used forms a lot casually, you would have eventually gotten anti-form, and where its restore becomes really dark, and you don't have any way of guarding, or you don't have many defensive options, and you also take more damage in anti-form. So what causes anti-form to happen is if you use a lot of forms, every form that you use, you get +1 anti-point. And once you reach over 5 anti-points, you have a low chance of getting anti-form. And there are a couple caveats. So if your party member at the time is forced, you don't get an anti-point for going into a form. And whenever your party member is dead and you go into a form, you also don't get a point. And whenever you get a new drive form, your anti-points are reduced back to 0. So that's what we do in the run, is after we get... We make sure that we route in every drive form, so that by the time that we have a chance of getting anti-form, we receive a new form. So if you paid attention earlier, we got Wisdom Form from Timeless Pete, and Wisdom Form lowered our anti-points to 0. So now we don't have to worry about anti-form for a while. And the other thing for anti-form is that you have to be in combat to activate anti-form. So we can't activate anti anywhere outside of combat. No, you take more, VG. I'm like 99% sure you take more. If not, it might be the same, but I'm pretty sure you take more. So we use more Chicken Little here to do Blizzard and Thunder combos. Now you might be wondering how I'm doing so much damage on level 1 on crit on the pirates. And the reason is because they're extremely weak to... I think the wiki is wrong. I think so. The pirates are extremely weak to magic. And they take insane amount of damage, even at level 1. And I mean, as you can see, the Heartless also take a lot of damage. These fights right here are very consistent every time. A lot of fights in the game are not consistent, like the mob fights where there's a lot of Heartless. But these right here, because we can use Chicken Little and Fires and Thunders, we can make it very consistent. So we're doing a long menu here. Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay. So in that menu, we changed up Donald and Goofy's abilities. We changed up our customize a bit. When it comes to customizing magic to your shortcut menu, it can be very preference based on the runner. So the way I do my customization might not be the same that other runners do it. I try to minimize the amount of inputs I need to do per menu. So I took off Fire from Triangle, and the reason I did that is because Magnet will go into that slot because nothing is there right now when I get Magnet. And that saves a bit of time in that menu. So in this fight, we want to kill as many pirates as we can to get all their money because they actually drop a pretty significant amount of money. But the issue is that it's very, very easy to die. And in the menu, I also equipped a ton of ethers, meaning that I don't have any potions left in my inventory, which makes it even scarier. But the nice thing about Chicken Little is that every hit that you do, you actually get healed when he's out. Every summon in the game actually heals you to some extent, and that's the way that Chicken Little heals you. So I killed a decent amount. I grabbed the chest right there too for the synth item, and the reason I did that was because once you get a synth item, the synthesis shop gives you a elixir. And oh wait, I fucked that up. Hang on, let me leave. So when you get the ambush here, we want to enter the ship and then come back out to skip the ambush. You don't actually have to fight it out. So we're gonna summon Chicken Little again, and if you kill the pirates at the same time right there, you change up the spawn pattern, which can be pretty useful for a fight. I try to make that happen on purpose, because I want these bomb pirates to show up early. So pretty much what we're doing is trying to manage all the pirates at one time with Chicken Little. It can be very very nerve-wracking because we don't want them to hit the shadows. When they're in the shadows, they're invincible. And we also want to hit all of them at the same time with our blizzards. So we have 2 pirates left after this one. I also have equipped 3 ethers for this one fight in particular, because without having 3 ethers in that one fight, it can be really long, and you also want to make sure that Chicken Little doesn't take too much damage, because Chicken Little can die if he reaches 0 drive gauge, and then I won't have any drive for Barbossa after. But that fight is not a fun fight in the speedrun or on level 1. And the way that the pirates work, Blizzard freezes them, Thunder will kind of stun them and make them walk around, and Fire will make them run around on fire. And if they get hit by the cannonballs, they kind of have the effect of fire, and that's annoying because they wait, let's just go batter. My bad. Because we want them to be frozen, and it also knocks them away from the other pirates. And Chicken Little can't whistle them when they're on fire. So yeah, we try to avoid them getting hit by a cannonball. So now Barbossa's a really tough fight too. This is a fight I'm not going to be able to commentate much on, like in the marathon, because of how much focus I need. But the reason why this fight is really scary is because you lose the fight if Jack dies. So we need to make sure that Jack survives. And what we do is a full air combo, and then reflect his retaliation, and repeat this until his second phase. So Jack dies in about 3 hits, and he took 1 hit, so we have 2 more hits for Jack. If he gets hit again, I'll heal him. He's about to enter second phase here. I'm going to swap into Donald, use Reflect, and then activate Comet, and then end Comet, and do air combos on him as Comet is happening. And the way limits work in this game, you're invincible during limits, so I'm able to do air combos during Comet and not take any damage. And then we enter Wisdom form after getting a drive back during Comet. and finish him off with Reflect. I'm pretty sure he like glitched right there, but whatever. And Comet does a ton of damage on Barbossa because he has super armor, is what I call it. Where he doesn't get staggered by anything. And because Comet does like a ring of explosions, he just hits, every explosion hits him, and it does a lot more damage when enemies have super armor than if he doesn't. But yeah, that's a fight that I think Hobbs and Spike are gonna have to handle a lot of. Be scary. I'll play some ads, Gummy. He was like, oh shit, I forgot about gravity. It was so weird. Do 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 do. Huh. We're halfway done, too, by the way. Not really, though. It's like, I guess we're about halfway. In crit, halfway is about, like, middle of Agrabah. But I think in level 1, I guess, it's, PR. Because, I guess... Wait, why is that? I guess the ending is... faster than the early and mid game. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I haven't died yet either. I came close to dying a few times. But I'm playing it really safe, kind of. I mean, I kind of am. Like, I'm playing it, like, I'm risky when I know I can tank a hit. Like on the Pete fight, I could take a hit from the Ghost, but it was still kind of risky. Calculated risk. Okay, so right here, this is another path where we could have chosen Halloween Town or Agrabah. And the reason that we chose Agrabah is mainly because we're going to be leveling Wisdom Form here. But first up, we're going to go into the Moogle shop and buy ethers and then grab the elixir right there. Oh, whoops. Okay. We have a menu here. We're gonna take off Aladdin's items as per usual. And then change up our items. Put on 2 ethers and 2 potions. Now we enter Wisdom Form. And Wisdom Form is actually faster than Valor Form because of Quick Run. Quick Run is the main form of movement we're gonna have in this game. And Wisdom also has some slick magic movement too that we're gonna be using. You're gonna see a lot more of it later on. But
Let's go.
we're going to skip all of the hardest for now, and then level up Wisdom a ton in a fight coming up here. But we're going to do the Abu minigame first, and in the Abu minigame, we get to push the monkey towards the goal here. It's kind of hard to tell, but you actually do push Abu if you walk into him. You can end the minigame a little bit faster if you push him enough. Push that monkey. Push that monkey. Push that monkey. Now we're going to attack the ice cube and shoot. I might want to die here actually. So I want to reflect after hitting the ice cube to kill all of the Heartless here, because reflect is a like decently sized AoE attack that will hit everything. Okay, in the run I'm going to put Aladdin on Sora attack. I forgot to put him on Sora attack, so this is why it's important that we put them on Sora attack in some fights, because he was interrupting my reflect, and he's probably gonna interrupt the rest of the fight. So I didn't get the 4 kills in Wisdom either. The way that I'll explain the way that Wisdom and Valor level up. Valor levels up based on the amount of hits that you do when you're in Valor form, and Wisdom levels up based on the amount of Heartless that you kill in Wisdom form. But it has to be Sora that does the hits and kills the Heartless. Your party members don't count. And every form levels up in a different way. But Valor and Wisdom are the main ones that we worry about levels for. Okay, let me put him to Sora attack now. Okay, so this is where we're gonna level Wisdom to level 3. Because when you hit level 3 is when you get the growth ability per form. And the growth ability you get for Wisdom form is Quick Run, which is the fastest movement that we can have. Hang on, okay. I need to be really safe here. So I reached level 2 Wisdom, and then I reverted and tried to get all of my drive gauge back so that I can go into Wisdom form again. And now that I'm in Wisdom form again, I have enough drive gauge to kill enough Heartless to get to level 3, like I just did. And now I'm gonna revert, switch out to have Goofy and Donald in the party, do a reflect into Trinity Limit, and this should kill the Fat Bandits. And there you go. Now we have level 3 Wisdom form, and we have Quick Run. So we're gonna equip that, along with Aerial Spiral. We also have High Jump, because we leveled Valor to 3 earlier. But High Jump is not important, and we're not gonna be equipping it. It was part of the route before, and I like having High Jump personally on, but it's faster to not equip it. So we're opening the fight with Comet. Hey Kevin, by the way. And we're gonna use the Comet finisher. Like I said before, bosses that are giant with super armor, Comet does a lot of damage to you because of how many hits it does at the same time. So we're just going to do air combos, and now we're gonna enter Valor form. And that gives us back our MP, as well as lets us do air combos in Valor, which do a decent amount of damage to these bosses. So in a minute here, I'm gonna want to res Donald. Okay, so he froze the Blizzard, the Blizzard Lord froze Donald and Goofy, which was a problem because neither of them can be frozen for me to activate a limit, which is the scariest part about the fight, is the fact that they can be frozen. So I had to unfreeze them with fire to get the limit out. Now the other scary thing is that I lost my limit, so I have to had to casual out the rest of the fight. That was a bit scary. So normally I would want the Comet to last until the Blizzard Lord comes down, and then I would end it when he gets down there, and try to kill him with the ending of it, kind of like I did at the start of the fight. But it got kind of scary. Alright, I'll play some ads. Now we're going to Halloween Town now that we have quick run. Also, we totally skipped Atlantica when I unlocked it after Timeless River, but we don't have to go to Atlantica at all in the game.
It's approaching from behind us.
All right. Thanks, BG. Are you going to work? Alright, good luck. Good luck on your shift. And good luck on your race tomorrow. Indeed. Indubitably. Alright. Huh. Things are gonna get a lot more fast paced at the end of the game. But yeah, I have a $20 donation from VG that says, "I'm off. Work time. Good luck with the rest." And we have a $20 donation from we have a $20 donation from Z_Axe that says Monka W. Yeah, see, I need you to do it. Monka W. Boozers. That'll show ya. Okay, Halloween Town. So now we enter Halloween Town. And at the start here, we're gonna get Jack. We take away his items like we usually do. I'm gonna switch in Goofy. And then put on Finishing Leap after taking off Upper Slash. The reason I took off Upper Slash is because we don't need it, and it'll just save up more AP. But we do want Finishing Leap to be equipped. It's a different finisher. So there's different finishers in this game. So now our ending of the combo, if I press square instead of doing the regular hit, I would do Finishing Leap, which is like a leap where you hit everything surrounding you. And you'll see me do it a lot towards the end of the run. So right here, in this fight, we're going to wait until the graveyard or Jack-in-a-Box rather, sits down, and then slide dash and reflect, and then reflect, Blizzard reflect into finishing leap right there, and then he's gonna die from that, and we start dance call, and now this dance call should kill these two Jack-in-a-Boxes right here. The combo at the beginning is really precise. It's hard to get every reflect in, but we time the combo so that every reflect deals damage. The way that reflect works in this game is that you can't just mash reflect and have every reflect come out. You need to reflect and then do something else and then reflect again for the reflect to deal damage, unless it's the finisher of reflects. And you'll see us use the finisher a lot more later on in the game. But for now, we're gonna enter into Prison Keeper. Now Jack has his own limit, as every Disney World party member has their own limit. His limit is called Dance Call, and Dance Call is probably one of the most busted limits in the entire game. And especially for level 1, you're gonna see how much damage it does and how convenient it is. So I just did a bit of damage beforehand, and now Prison Keeper can eat any of the 3 kids at the beginning. He decided to eat the one that's the least convenient for us, but we can manage with it. So I'm trying to do is get the entire finishing hit of the dance call to connect right there, because I want to skip Prison Keeper's phase. You can skip one of his phases of him eating a kid if you do enough damage during one of the phases. You completely skip the other one. But I kind of messed up because I didn't do enough damage. But I still am able to skip him eating a kid, I think. Yeah, so I skipped him eating Barrel right there. Now he's gonna eat all 3 of them. And I used 2 ethers. The main reason I went to Vatiform earlier, by the way, was just so that I could get my MP back without having to use an ether. Every time you enter a drive form, you get your MP back, and we abuse that sometimes. So now that he's at about 1.5 bars of HP, I'm going to enter into Dance Call, and the Dance Call should do enough damage to defeat him. The entire fight is pretty much doing 3 Dance Calls, and that's enough to beat him. But we want to get a little bit of damage in between each one. Oh hey Jacob. 420. Now we're headed to Oogie Boogie. And this is another place where you can do a save warp. Warp out in and Yuletide Hill, and then warp back in Santa's house. And this is the Oogie Boogie fight. Now this fight is really repetitive, and it's pretty hard. We're gonna be knocking these boxes towards Oogie Boogie. Now in between every box, I'm going to be using Thunder. And the reason I use Thunder is because if you look in the bottom right, it's getting me drive back. And also I enter MP recharge, so I can get my drive back when I knock him down. And now it's important that I get my drive back, because I'm going to summon Chicken Little for the presents that he sends out. You'll see them after this phase right here. But yeah, we have plenty of drive now. And our MP comes back really fast because of the MP haste that you start with on crit. Even though the dice do a lot of damage, and that fist right there is a one-shot on crit. So we summon Chicken Little now. These are the gifts that are really scary. Okay. So what I did right there was bring Chicken Little behind the fist, and have him whistle the Heartless to dodge the fist. And the reason I want the Heartless alive is because if a Heartless is alive on that platform, he's not going to summon more Heartless in his phase right here. Otherwise, I'll have to wait for more gifts to come out. So that saves a couple seconds because I don't have to wait for the animation of the gifts coming out. And I also get to do combos with Chicken Little out. Now Chicken Little is probably going to die from the spikes. Or not, actually. I'm going to dismiss him, though. And I actually wanted this guy to be alive still because I was able to skip even more presents from coming out for a second there. So that was perfect. That's the way I wanted it to go. The only problem was that I got hit by the guy, which doesn't usually happen. I guess I potioned for safety a bit. It's not gonna make a difference though, I'm still in one-shot territory. The guy could kill me. Okay. So in the first phase, it takes 12 boxes to knock him down. In the second phase, it also takes 12, but he moves away after you knock 8 at him. And in the third phase, every 4 you knock away, he moves to another conveyor belt. But now we're gonna use Dance Call to finish him off because it deals really good DPS. Okay, not bad. And now we got Magnet from Halloween Town, which we're going to be using straight away in the next fight. Now, we unlocked Pride Lands, and we can go there, but Pride Lands is completely skippable in Kingdom Hearts 2. You don't have to enter there whatsoever. Which is another thing that some people might not know. But we're going to summon Genie now. And switch him to Wisdom Genie, because we're going to be using Wisdom Genie in this Berserker fight. So we're going to be seeing the Berserkers come out in a second wave. First of all, we have to get rid of the Dusks, which I'll handle with Reflect. And now I'm going to use Wisdom Genie Strike, which is the limit. And now after that one dies, the Berserker spawns in the middle of the arena, and then Reflect into Magnet Finishing Leap. And the reason we're able to do Finishing Leap after Magnet is because Magnet is a finisher, and because we have Finishing Plus, we're able to do 2 finishers. We can do an instant Finishing Leap if we Magnet first. And now after that wave disappears, we're going to Magnet the Berserkers in the air and then do the Square Power Trinity, which is called Ultima. And the way that the Trinity interacts with the Magnet, it will bounce them back and forth in the Magnet if we're in the right position. And the Magnet will continuously deal damage because they keep getting resucked in. And the finisher will then kill the Berserkers. And we're going to be doing that trick right there with bouncing them back in and out of the Magnet over and over again in other fights in the run too. Thank you, Mina.
Donald's right, you know.
So it's all.
CJ's gonna get extra credit for writing stuff down.
Oh no! Anna! You're right, Chipper! Sora!
What do you mean no problem, Zax? Now we're gonna enter Wisdom form and use Fires in the air because Fires propel us forward, and it's faster than going around on the stall like we did in Batter form. And the main reason we went into Wisdom form is because Wisdom quick runs are faster than base Sora quick runs, because we have level 2 quick run in Wisdom form. I do a Thunder right there, and the Thunder I jump at the corner, and then the Thunder will sort of push Sora upward, and because I'm on the edge, I'm able to skip the ledge grab. It's the same thing they do with Vader form early on, but it's a lot harder to do in Wisdom. Now we use a skateboard because the skateboard is a bit faster than the quick run. And this is where the movement really shines when you're in Wisdom form. We get to do some really cool tech. We're heading towards the next world, which is Space Paranoids. This is about the ending, like the climax of the midpoint of the run. After this, the game is super fast paced, and we have to do the second visits of each world. Thank you, Nima. So now we're entering the Space Paranoids. And we do a slide dash here to knock all the orbs out and then do the RC. I'm gonna grab Tron's Ether. And go into the minigame right here. So, what we have to do is find the red box. And then the red box is going to move around in a circle. And it spins around, and we have to keep track of it with our camera. And we don't have to, we just have to know the general vicinity of the box, because Wisdom form, or going into any form rather, will work if you're near the box. So even if I was not directly next to it, if I was close enough to it, and then enter Wisdom form, it'll still count towards me winning. And now we're going to get Master form. And we're gonna skip Stitch. We actually don't grab any extra summons, so you can skip Stitch and Peter Pan in the game. You cannot skip Chicken Little or Genie, but we're not gonna be grabbing Peter Pan or Stitch, which is kind of a shame because they're actually really, really good summons. But we don't need them in the run. So, at the beginning here, we have to kill 5 enemies, and then we move on to the auto-scroller part. That part's pretty scary because it's random where the bikes show up, and you get 2-shot. So, now that I took a hit, my HP stayed over from that fight, and I'm 1 shot away from dying. So I'm really afraid of dying here. The nice thing about this part though, is that the bikes always spawn in the exact same way. So I know exactly where the bikes are going to be in all parts of the Light Cycle minigame. And it goes the same way every time. So I definitely shouldn't take a hit here. But if I do something slightly wrong, then I might take a hit. It's kind of scary. Right there I did a thing where I boosted off of the shield. Because normally when you hit the shield, you get knocked into the wall and take damage. But because I was transitioning to the left and turning, I was able to use the knockback as a boost to go left faster, turn left faster. Hey, oh well. And now this last part we can just guard in the middle and we make it through. Now we're going to enter the screens minigame. So in other categories, we would be level grinding here and reaching a certain level to be comfortable with the rest of the game. But again, level 1, so we are not going to be level grinding here. Instead, what we're going to be doing is trying to finish the minigame as fast as we can. And here we're doing the same thing we did Trinity before, but we're doing it with Master Genie. So Master Genie was knocking all of the Heartless into the magnet. And the magnet deals damage when it sucks them in, so it kept sucking them in as he hits them. So they're essentially taking damage from Genie and also from the magnet over and over again. And then after that's over, we do Trinity with a magnet. Same concept, hit them inside the magnet and out. To get our drive back and also to get the orbs to finish off the minigame. We want drive for the boss fight here. That's coming up right now. We're gonna quick run over there. We can do a quick slide dash here. Cheeky slide dash to go a bit faster. And now there's an armor thing here called the Gaiabout, which has thunder resistance, which is actually really useful for a lot of enemies in the game. But I'm not gonna grab it. Maybe I'll grab it in the marathon, but I don't think it's gonna make a big difference anyway. So we start out the fight with Comet, and Costa Program tries to hit me, but because I'm facing towards the middle, he just knocks himself towards the wall and still takes damage from the Comet. So my positioning is really important right there. And then I do Wisdom Form to do some damage to knock more orbs out too. And now I use Comet again, because I got my MP back from Wisdom Form. And I'm gonna try to knock him into his last phase while he's frozen still. And use the Comet to also knock out enough orbs to use another RC. I was just barely off, but he's gonna heal here. Yeah, we're good. So now we're going to do your RC and try to position it so that he runs into us and we can catch him right here. Now we're gonna summon Genie when we get our drive back, and then go into Master Genie, and then do the limit in Master Genie. And the RC, the finisher of Master Genie will knock out enough orbs for us to freeze him again. Now we do another air combo into another limit, and he dies. There's a lot going on in that fight. That one's gonna be hard to explain as it happens. Now we're done with SP, and now we go into Hollow Bastion. The last visit of Hollow Bastion is going to be really hard. So we're going to summon Genie right off the bat here. I'm going to target the Dancer, and then do my Master Form limit. And what I want to do is run away and Magnet, and then suck all of the hardest into the Magnet. It's very important that I position my Magnet and Genie properly so that the Magnet does the maximum amount of damage that it is supposed to. I lost Drive, which is bad. That's bad. So, I want my Drive here because I'm going to summon Genie again in the next fight. And it's important that I keep my Drive there because when the fight ends, I would get my Drive back. Because Genie would be dismissed, but because I don't have Drive now, I'm gonna do a Fire to get it back, and then summon Genie, and then do, okay, I died there because the security robot knocked the Dancer upward, and so the Magnet didn't suck in all of the Dancers because it went upward instead of on the ground. I think if the security bot didn't do that, then I would have been fine. That's really unlucky though. We're gonna try again. Yeah, so that time it worked. Now use the Master Genie limit. And now do another Magnet on top of the Dancer here. And then do another limit. And the way that the Magnet and Genie interact are different depending on the Nobody. So, for example, this is bad. Hang on, what do I do? I need my Drive. Shoot. Really? Okay. That's bad. I don't have my Drive now. Normally I'm supposed to dismiss Genie, do a Magnet, and then another Magnet into Trinity. But I wasn't able to do that, so now I don't have my Drive for Demix, which is really bad actually. Oh, I think I know what to do. If I do 2 Magnets and then hang on. I do 2 magnets and then maybe. Didn't work. Wow. Shoot. Might have to just die. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what I would do in a marathon in this situation. Okay. I think I can get my drive back if I try hard enough, but I'm not sure.
Dance, water, dance.
Let's see. I'm gonna die again. Yeah, anyway. Well, I can't just do fires because that happens. Okay. Pretty sure if I do the magnet thing again, it should work. Just they can't be spread out. Didn't really work that well though. I'm surprised. Huh? Okay. Well, good thing is you'll be in second phase. I'm just not gonna bother explaining this part because I can't do this strat. But I mean, I guess what I would be doing is I would go into limit form, and then I would go into limit form after a slide dash. And then I would do Ragnarok. And after the Infinity, or Ragnarok, I would revert from limit and then do a Trinity limit again. And then I would do the Trinity limit finisher when he does his water clones at the end. And then that would nearly kill him. And then after like another combo, he would die. So normally it's really fast because I do another Trinity 20 minigames. But right there, I put on another ether, so now I have 3 ethers and 2 potions, and I put on Vicinity Break and Flash Step. And our problem is that if I die to FF fights, I actually have to redo Demix. So this is the scariest part of the run, for sure. I'm doing a Magnet into Trinity to spawn the next wave right here. I'm gonna go into Limit form. Okay. And then do the Rising Sun RC. And I'm gonna go into Sonic Rave when these spawn to get my HP back, and also to do some damage, and then use a Rising Sun. Now I'm gonna revert, do a Vicinity Break, which is the ability I just got, which does like a swipe around to hit everything, to bait out an attack from the shadows, and then reflect it. And then I'm gonna do Magnet Trinity on the Morning Star, which also happens to kill a lot of shadows. And now we just do regular air combos and try to watch out for the soldier, because they can easily kill me. And I'm gonna use an ether right here for safety. And I hit one of the soldiers. I think they're called Lance Soldiers. Might be wrong. So that I can bait out their RC, which is the Rising Sun. And that's the most effective way to take out the Morning Stars. I can get one shot by the Morning Stars. And even their spin attack doesn't one-shot me, but it's very close to one-shotting me. So they're the scariest enemy, one of the scariest enemies in the game. But thankfully Tifa is incredibly powerful, and she takes out most of them. Right here I'm going to use Limit Form and time it so that it kills all the shadows as soon as they come out of the ground. And then I'm going to do a Thunder on the security bot, and do the RC. They always do the RC after you use a Thunder, so that's why I use a Thunder right there, just to make it come out. And then after I kill one of these Morning Stars, the other wave will spawn, which is what I want. There we go. I'm going to use more Thunders and try to activate more Sparkle Rays, which is the name of the RC right there. There we go. And also Cloud, after a while, Cloud enters his strong phase where he just destroys everything. I'm going to put on Follow the Winds for safety. Oh wait. That was wrong. It's okay. I won the tournament match. Okay. Now 1000 Heartless is one of the scarier fights in the game. The reason why it's so scary is because we don't have Once More or a Second Chance. So if we get comboed by anything here, we're gonna die, and we're gonna die really fast. We also don't have any armor on, so if I get caught by the lasers, I will take full damage from it. We're gonna be doing the same thing where I use Thunder whenever I get the chance to force out the RC to happen. And I'm also gonna be manipulating the camera in such a way so that I see everything that's going on and I can see if anyone's trying to snipe me. It takes a lot of practice to be able to maneuver in this fight and not take any hits. So like I'm just barely walking how I need to avoid taking any damage. I also know how the RC works, and I know the direction that I'm going to throw the security bot after every RC. But I can get sniped out of an RC if something tries to hit me with a big hitbox, or like a constant hitbox, after I do the Sparkle Ray. Because there's a small period of time where I am vulnerable and I can't do anything about it. But if I do take a hit, I can instantly go into Limit Form, which is why I use Reflex at the start to build my drive back up, so that I can limit whenever I need to. Like right here. And we should be good, we're at the ending. One more, yeah, it should be fine. Alright. Hopefully it goes that well in GDQ, and hopefully the Demic Sting doesn't happen at GDQ. The Demic Sting was really bad because I had no backup at all. I was kind of screwed.
A photo and some ice cream.
Riku? Just this feeling.
Well, the only difference there was that I had Limit Form
Hey, what if the
compared to
heart-
Vanilla KH2.
But Sora,
Okay, PR2. So now we begin the second visits, which is like a really like rapid go from world to world. There's no gummy missions. It's really fast paced. I need to put on Hero's Crest there. My bad. So for the beginning here, we just spam Blizzard. Again, the parrots are still really weak to the magic, so Blizzard is our best option there. I'm gonna put on Hero's Crest and follow the one on Master, which you'll see why I do that on the boss fight here. So we're gonna do what we did before, where we skip the ambush by picking the place we want to go to and then going in and out of the boat. And now we fight the boss here, which is Grim Reaper. Now, I have Hero's Crest on because I'm going to be doing primarily air combos. And what we're doing here is keeping him stun-locked with Comet. Now, he would break out if I didn't keep hitting him, but because I'm hitting him in between every air combo with a Comet, I'm able to keep him stunned and stop him from teleporting. And after the first comment is over, I go into Master Form and deal a bunch of damage with Blizzard. Before I run out of MP though, I do the finishers. And now we're gonna see where he goes here. Okay, good. So now Comet and do the same thing where I keep him stun locked with the Comet. This is pretty hard to do, you have to time your Comet very well. Now we're gonna end it when he's in a corner. And because he's like on the inside of the ring of Comet, he gets bounced around back and forth, and you really don't want him to be outside of it, because if he is, then he's gonna get knocked out of it and he's gonna teleport away, and none of the damage would come out. Because he was in the inside, I was able to combo him as the Comet was happening and he wouldn't break out. So now we're gonna put on Horizontal Slash and Guard Break, which are both combo modifiers. Horizontal Slash you will see me use here, and Guard Break is just a different finisher on the ground where Sora does like a big stab move. I don't know how to explain it. But I do Thunders into Magnet Trinity right here to get my drive back. And also to effectively kill that Gambler. We're going to be doing the same thing on the Gambler over here. We need to collect 4 medallions. And there are more than 4 medallions to collect. I believe that there's another one on the boat area over there. But we choose to kill the ones over here instead. This one you have 10 seconds to kill, which is quite hard to do at level 1, but we do it with 2 seconds to spare if we do the Trinity strat. And now we go to blow up the crates here, and I'm going to summon Genie. Now we're going to do a really cool tech called Genie Canceling, where after every time we switch Genie's forms, our combo resets. So every time we switch Genie's form, the game thinks that my combo is back at the beginning, and I'm able to do infinite horizontal slashes because of that one reason. So we're gonna keep doing it here. It's not easy to do because I need to switch Genie form every time I do my combo. But we got him. And I want Genie to be out because my drive will refill right here. And we want to have full drive for the Grim Reaper 2 fight. So Grim Reaper 2 is different than the first one because he's invincible when he has medallions. So we're gonna slide dash, do 2 thunders. Each thunder knocks out 50, which is enough to get out the medallions, and then we blizzard him again. Put the medallions in. Now we're gonna summon Genie and do more Genie canceling until he gets to his next phase. Oh god. My god. I don't know why I'm screwing that up. I never screwed it up. I won't win the marathon. Okay. And now when he gets to second phase, we're going to do the RC right next to him. And then after the RC is over, we're going to target him in the air and do 2 thunders to knock out the rest of the medallions. We're going to collect all of them here. And then put them back in. Now we're going to heal Donald, make sure he's alive, and then start Comet. And now we're going to do what we did in the first fight, where we keep him stun locked with Comet. But it's going to be a bit harder now because we need to do a lot of damage in one go. I almost got him there, but he has a little bit of health left. Okay, now he's going to go to the last phase. And I almost have 5 drive bars, which is good because we need 4 for Master. I'm going to go into Master Form right here. And now we're going to do thunders around him. And we have to time our thunders. We can't spam thunder. The reason is because if we time it, we knock out more medallions. And we also get MP from hitting him with the Keyblade, which we need because we don't have enough MP to do enough thunders otherwise. Now we do the same thing with Comet, where we keep him stun locked. And we get him. That fight was something. I didn't explain it that well, but that's fine.
Hey everybody, I'm picking. Are you sure? Look, it's up. Probably just. I don't know.
Okay. Oh god. So now in this menu, I'm gonna just bring in Donald and Goofy. And put on Duck Flare, which we're gonna be using for the rest of the game. Quite a bit. Grim Reaper 2 gave us like one of the best limits for Donald. At the beginning here, we're gonna do a magnet into Trinity, as we had been before. The ending of the Trinity should kill all the beat all the kids, and now we can throw a box on them. This fight is just putting kids into boxes, but you have to be really good at aiming your box throw, and also hope that Goofy doesn't knock them away. I'm gonna bring Jack in so I can use Dance Call in the next fight, right before the fight ends, so I don't waste time doing it. Gonna grab a skateboard here. Skateboards are here now in the second visit. Reflect into Dance Call. So what we do there is that we reflect, and before the reflect damage comes out of the reflect, I use Dance Call, and it sucks all of the enemies into the reflect so that it deals damage to them as it starts. And then we do 2 parts of Dance Call to kill them all at the same time. The point is that we want them all to die at the same time so that we're able to get all of the presents at once before the graveyards take the presents away. And now we have an RNG section where we have to get 100 points of gifts. And the reason it's RNG is because the bigger the boxes, the more points you get. And it's completely random which ones come out. So I just got like absurd luck. That was like the most insane luck ever. But that was really good. So you want good boxes, you don't want red boxes. The bigger they are, the better they are. Now we're going to fight the boss of this world, which is really hard actually. This fight is quite difficult on any difficulty. We're gonna start by using the Duck Flare finisher and getting him into his next phase during the finisher. I'm gonna break him apart with the finisher right there, and then guard his attack, and then knock him into the face, because if you knock him into the face, then he instantly goes back into his full form. Gonna do a full air combo, 2 horizontals, and then do Infinity in limit form, and do the Giga Impact, revert, jump, reflect into Duck Flare, and then do a full Duck Flare with every RC, and also get as much damage as I can with my air combos. And then this should be enough to beat him, but I might be a little bit under damage, yeah. Okay. They forgot it existed? That's weird. Oh wait, oh, wait. Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh wait, in that menu I wanted to switch in Donald for Aladdin. And the reason is so that I can go into Wisdom form right here and use fire to break the stalls and quick run over here. Then we enter the carpet minigame. Now, Agrabah 2 is just all of the carpet stuff here. When you're on the carpet as Sora, you're a lot more limited on what you can do. You can't use any limits, and you can't use any drives, and you can't use any summons. So we're just going to be relying on Reflect, Magnet, and Finishing Leap. So that fight, we just Magnet, and then get rid of the Rapid Twisters, and then we hope that the bats spawn into the magnet so that we can reflect them after they come out of it, and then do another magnet, and hope the same for the Fortune Tellers, where they come out of it, and then we reflect that attack and magnet again. And for Jafar right here, we just have to keep up with him and attack him whenever he stops. Like right there. He always takes the same path every time, so it's not too difficult. Now we magnet and attack the Rapid Twisters, and we do the same thing. We use a magnet to catch the Fortune Tellers as they come over here, and then reflect the Retaliation, do another magnet, throw an Ether, and then reflect the Crimson Jazz, and magnet Finishing Leap into an air combo, and that should get rid of everything. And now we have MP to spare for the magic minigame here, where we have to use Blizzard, Thunder, and Fire to knock out all of the switches. We're gonna make sure to do it in the optimal order, which is Thunder, Blizzard, and then Fire. What's difficult about this minigame is that we have to target the switch, and when there's a lot of enemies on screen, the game doesn't let you target the switch. But if I target it before the enemies show up, then it's all good. And for the Fire one, we don't need to target it. We can just use a Fire. Now we enter the timed carpet section here. This is an auto scroller. There's nothing we have to watch out for here. We just have to survive. We don't get any benefit for killing the Heartless. So this is probably a good time for donations, I think. Unless there's anything that we need to explain. Huh. I get it. I get it. I see what you did there. Uh-huh. Oh, shoot! Ha. Gotcha. Iframes for the win. Okay. So we're gonna do a save warp right here and warp to the shop, and from here we go to Jafar. It's a bit faster that way. So Jafar is a pretty technical fight. It's really important that we beat him before he DMs. And as I mentioned before, DMs are a move where the boss is invincible, and they do some very powerful attack. Now, if he DMs, I'm probably gonna die, because it's really hard to survive the DM in this fight at level 1. So we're gonna do particular combos to make sure we maximize our damage output, and don't allow him to DM. So we do the RC right here. After doing the ground combo into 2 air combos. Then we do 3 air combos after we do the RC. Try to get every hit to connect. The last one didn't connect, that's okay. Then I'm going to knock him down again on the stomach. Now we're gonna do the same thing, ground combo into 2 air combos. And he should die for after this RC, but I don't know. No, he definitely will. That was a bit close. Okay. Yeah, so if we do the fight that way, then we stop him from DMing, and the reason is because he has 2 HP gates, and HP gates are the transition between phases on a boss fight, and those gates you need to do a finisher to get past, just like beating the boss. So we make sure to time it so that we do our finishers as we approach the HP gates, and we make sure that we don't get to the last HP gate prematurely, because if we do, then he's gonna DM. So now we make it to Beast Castle, and this fight, I'm not gonna get this at GDQ, it's gonna be so hard. But well, it's Auden anyway. So the first fight here, we're just gonna wait until the Dragoons come towards us, and then we're going to reflect. Or I'm just gonna not, because they didn't come towards us, it's fine. If you get good luck, they're gonna teleport, and then you can reflect Magnet. But because I got bad luck there, they didn't come towards me, and I had to reflect, or Magnet early. Now we're gonna Wisdom for movement here, because we have to do a lot of movement at the end here. Also, thank you, Code Man. I don't know if I said that. Okay. I bring our party members, all of our party members in. I take off draw, put on aerial finish. This will be the only point in the run where I put on aerial finish, and then we're gonna put on the elixir. Now, that's all set up for the Zodin fight. Before the Zodin fight, we have the Dragoon fight here. The Dragoon fight, we just use Master Genie to take care of the Dragoons. Effect Magnet, and because we're right on top of them in the Magnet, we're able to do insane damage on them. And the Dusks, as I mentioned it before, but they're different to the Assassins, to where they need to be farther away from the Magnet for the trick to work. Because of the... I think because they don't have super armor like Dragoons do. Now we're gonna Magnet, Master Genie the last wave. Just like that. And we don't have to worry about our MP, because it comes back before Zodin. We're gonna dismiss Genie, and here comes the Zodin fight. So what I'm gonna be doing is timing my horizontal slashes frame perfectly, so that I can keep him stun locked in between each up there. But I won't be able to explain it as I fight him. I already fucked up too. I'm gonna try it again, hang on. Just so that I can show off how it looks. Okay.
Where's the fun in this?
Let me do it again. I'm gonna practice this a lot before GDQ. Like, a lot. I'm gonna show this to Spike and Hobbs, so that they can... they know what I'm doing, so I want to actually show off the strat. So that they know what I'm gonna do here. Okay, that I don't know what I did wrong, actually. Okay, let me try again.
Where's the fun in this?
Okay. There we go. So that's a strat. I keep on stun locked for the entire fight, but every horizontal slash that I do after every aerial dive is frame perfect. It's not actually frame perfect, it's like maybe 3 to 4 frames, but it's really, really tight. But like that, combined with having to menu into duck flare quick enough before my finisher comes out. So what happens, the reason I need aerial finish is because after I start duck flare, it needs to be stun locked between the start of duck flare and when I end duck flare. So I need area finish on so that he can be stun locked between those two things. And I need to start the duck flare right after I start my third horizontal slash so that I can do my aerial finish at the same time that, like, between duck flare starts and ends. So that's how it works, and that's why I put it on, but... yeah, so now I'm moving on to Riku. And for the Riku fight, I like to begin with Reflect into Trinity, and then go into Limit Form early, actually. And the reason I do this is because I can get off a combo and get my MP back. And now we're gonna do a ton of Reflects and try to get our drive back at least up to 3 during the Riku fight. There we go. So we got it to 3 and we beat him, so that's good. That's how it should go. And also, normally I do the menu that I just did when I docked right there, not before Riku. No, I've just been forgetting to split for a lot of them. We're using Wisdom for movement here. There was some more tech right there with the fires and the mountain climb. So now we magnet into Trinity. This time we're doing magnet into Ultima. And this is like an 80% chance of killing. Sometimes it doesn't kill. But yeah, so right there I got a good Trinity and I killed everything. Same concept. It's in and out of the magnet. The amount of hits I get though is really random, and if I get too few hits, then I don't kill everything there. Now we summon Genie and switch him over to Master Genie. And we're gonna do what we did under the greens here, but we're gonna Vicinity Break first, and then reflect the Dusks and the Bullets, and then Magnet into the limit. And we're gonna do the finisher, and then do the same thing here after they're all grouped up. And that's a good fight right there. Now we're gonna dismiss Genie before entering the Storm Rider fight because we don't want Genie to be there yet. And you're gonna see how good. Well, we already saw how good Duck Flare is in this Auden fight, but you're gonna see it even more in this fight. We do very little damage to Storm Rider, so it's a very long fight that uses a ton of tools at our disposal to beat him as efficiently as possible. And I use 2 Aethers right there to refill my MP. And now with this second Duck Flare, it destroys the horns on the sides, which knocks Storm Rider downward. And now we get an opening here where we can do a lot of damage to him. So I summon Genie out, and then I use Wisdom Genie because it's our fastest method of DPS with Genie right here. And I want him to go to about under 2 bars, and that should be enough damage to where he's gonna do his RC now. And I want to dismiss Genie before I do the RC because I want Donald and Goofy to not be out yet so that they don't die to the RC attack. And also, I delayed the RC on purpose because I wanted my MP to come back as quick as it could before starting Duck Flare. Yeah, before doing the combo on his horns there. If my MP doesn't come back in time, then I'm not able to finish him while he's still on the ground, and I have to wait for him to come back down. But yeah, alright. Now we're heading into
Maybe that's
the ending.
And there's something funny about it. Look, it's another. I don't know what's going on, fellas.
The ending.
This sure is exciting.
Okay, I'll play some ads.
Watch out!
All right. Yeah, Owen Wilson, right? Yeah, he's really good. So you guys talking about that? Yeah. Yeah, he's a really good actor. In there. I mean, I thought he was good in other stuff too. Like I liked Night at the Museum and Cars, but well, Night at the Museum like 3 I thought was pretty bad, but I don't think it was his fault. I think he's a good actor. I remember thinking 2 was okay, but I thought 3 was weird. No, 2 is actually pretty good, I think. And that's what I thought before. Like I watched it when it came out, so maybe I'm sure my opinion will change now. But I didn't mind the second one. It was where they visit the Smithsonian. Also, Bobby told me that there's gonna be a sentimental donation. At the end of during GDQ, during my run, because it's a finale. So apparently there's like a moving donation that's gonna happen. So that might happen during this gummy. I don't know if it's gonna happen earlier, but this is like the ending. So I don't know. We'll see when it happens. I have to produce tears. No, there's a lot of pressure. God damn it. Thank you, Sage. I don't think there's anything important to explain here. Just like this is where you get into the last donations before like the actual finale. Oh, yeah, I forgot to reply to Zion. Sorry. I'll reply after this stream.
Piece of cake.
The boss rush? Oh god. Okay. Alright, so at the beginning here, we're gonna head over to the mansion, and then we're gonna use the skateboards for movement on the way there. So we got 2 more fights here in Twilight Town, and then we have the What It Never Was, which is just a boss rush between a bunch of org members. All the fights there, I'm gonna need to rely on Spike and Hobbs probably to explain most of it. Okay. So we want to summon... I summoned Genie when the sniper bullet came out, so that the iframes from summoning Genie would protect me from the bullet, because it one-shots you, so I could die to movement right there. And now we jump backwards and magnet on all these dusks to kill them. Same thing with the way that Genie and Magnet interact. We're gonna do the same thing with the creepers here. And then when the samurai come out, we're gonna make sure that we're doing it next to them instead of away from them, because the Genie limit will not bring them towards you for the samurai like it will for the creepers. And now there's 1 more left that I'm gonna have to kill. I can do my I can do it that way. Okay. Now 1 more fight left. Gonna go over towards the basement. Another thing to mention, I guess, is that I grabbed the MP orbs from the Dusks and the Creepers to make sure that I was able to use auto magnets that I need in that fight. Because you barely have enough MP. Now we're going to the Axel fight. I'm gonna do Vicinity Break and then reflect into Magnet. Then reflect into Finishing Leap, Fire, Duck Flare. And that should kill everything, just like that. Okay, so now at the beginning here, I'm gonna Vicinity Break again, but this time the Dusks are gonna attack Axel because they always target Axel. Every enemy in this fight will target Axel. So now I'm gonna fire the Dusks into Magnet, Finishing Leap, and that should kill a majority of them. Now the assassins spawn into the magnet. I'm gonna reflect magnet as the assassins fall out of the magnet, because when they fall out of the magnet, they do an attack that it can reflect. And we're gonna keep reflecting them as they come out of the magnet to get the reflect damage off. We want to make sure that we reflect them right, because if they don't get reflected, then they'll go underground and they'll come back up and explode, and the explosion will one-shot me. And I also need to make sure that I have Drive after the Axel fight, because I need to use Wisdom Form before entering Roxas.
Yeah, let's go.
And I also use Limit Form to get my Drive back, or MP back during that fight. So now we're headed to Roxas, and this fight's a fight. So what we're gonna do is reflect the first attack from Roxas here. We're gonna reflect into a full combo with 2 finishers. And now we're gonna do a slide dash into Blizzard, and I have to time my 2 reflects afterwards so that I don't get hit by Roxas. And then we're gonna repeat the same thing. We're getting odd reflect damage off because of the way that I'm timing my reflects. Now I enter limit form right as he does his charge move, and then I do 2 finishers into another ground combo with 1 finisher. Then I R's during his long combo. I guard the ending of it. Then I do a full ground combo into another full ground combo after reverting, and then I do a flash up into Thunder Reflects, and then I delay my guard break, do a full air combo into Thunder Reflects, Magnet Reflects into a Trinity, and I bounce him in and out of the Magnet during the Reflect and Trinity to do enough damage to kill him. It went a lot better than I thought it would. But with that Magnet, I was able to get my drive back up to 3, which I need for going into anti-form after Roxas. So I put on 2 Become 1, because 2 Become 1 forces you to go into anti-form whenever you're in combat.
Let's go.
And the reason that we're using anti-form here is because not only is it good for movement, but we need to lower our anti-points down to 0. And our anti-points are so stacked right now that we need to do 2 antis to get it to 0. So now that they're at 0, we don't have to worry about getting anti for the rest of the run. We buy ethers at the shop. I have just enough. No, I have 2 more actually. I have 2 extra. I want 7, including Riku's, which means 5 from the shop. And then I get the 2 extra from Riku.
Gotcha now.
So now we enter Zigbar. I put on Hero's Crest because we're going to be doing air combos on Zigbar because he is an aerial boss. And what we're going to do is wait until he reloads. He reloads after doing 3 shots. That's 2. That's his 3rd one. I'm going to start Duck Flare and then do an air combo with 2 finishers. And then do an aerial dive into finishing Duck Flare before our finishers happen. And the point is that we want to do as much damage as we possibly can before he gets to his 3rd reload, because he does 3 reloads before DMing. So, oh god. Okay, I got DM'd. That's fine. Let me try again, actually. Well, no, it's fine. So normally I would have killed him there, but I was a bit under damaged because at the ending, I think I didn't do enough hits. So the point is that during the duck flare, if I do aerial dive and aerial spiral, every hit that I do will do more damage because of duck flare happening, and that is enough damage to kill him at the ending. I might have to worry about anti, not sure. I think I'll be fine. I was about to get my drive back, but I think it's okay. So I'm actually gonna keep Hero's Crest on, because of the loop that I do on Luxord now.
The first to run out of time is the loser.
Jump backwards, jump forwards. Every hit you do in the die will lower your gauge as a die, so we can revert as fast as we can. I want to do his make him retaliate in the air so that I can hit reflex on the ground and then do an aerial spiral right there to make them fall down, and then reflex, hit, reflex as their cards are attacking. And then do the same thing here with another aerial spiral, reflex, hit, reflex. And then this time I do a magnet as he falls. And now he's either going to do a minigame or summon more cards. We want him to do a minigame because that's the fastest thing he can do. But if we get bad luck, he's going to summon more cards. So we're going to reflex, hit, and then do an air combo. Reflex, hit. Now he can either summon cards or do a minigame. When he does a minigame, we just reflex. When he does cards, we have to jump and reflex the cards. The problem though... Okay, I could have died there. The problem is that when the cards come out, they can either follow him or not follow him. Oh, that was close, okay. Yeah, that's frustrating. You can do that. I don't mind. Okay, well, I would do the same thing, but just don't die this time. Yeah, you can also post it in the Discord. Well, that's how the opening is supposed to go. I do a finishing leap, and then reflex, hit, reflex, and then finishing leap, and then hit, and then reflex, hit, reflex, finishing leap. And then I want to do it again here, but he was kind of far, so I don't want to risk it. Magnet. Okay. I'm actually gonna do a premature limit form if I can. Well, no. Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Okay. I'm gonna hope that I can get my drive back in time, but I might not be able to. Okay. So you summon cards, which is bad luck. I can magnet, I can thunder into a magnet if he does that sometimes, and that will allow me to have him not break out, or stop him from breaking out. I'm gonna get my dry back here. Okay. I want to see if I can get the DM skip. Okay, this isn't gonna work. Oh, it works, okay. Oh wait, oh yeah, it barely works. Oh, but I don't have drive now. Should be fine actually. Yeah, I'll be fine. Okay, so I put on monochrome, and the reason I put on monochrome is because we're going to be using item boost on Psyx. Believe it or not.
Do you feel it?
And also for the DM skip, what we do is that when he enters DM phase, we go into Trinity, into limit form, and then do Ether into R's, into multiple R's, and that should beat him. I'm going to res Donald after the beginning here, and so I can use Duck Flare. Now we're gonna end up here and do 5 area spirals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now do a full ground combo finishing leap into Wisdom. Normally I'd use Master. Reflect into Blizzard into Reflect. Then Reflect, hit, Reflect, and then Reflect with the second finisher. Then Ether after starting Duck Flare, and then do 4 area spirals on me. And then do another Ether, and then Magnets into Reflect, and then Duck Flare, and end that Duck Flare. And this Duck Flare will kill Psyx. At least that went good. And I want to make sure that I take off monochrome. So in the run, I'm probably gonna use Master Form. as a side note. It's the same thing though. Instead of reflect, this is reflect, I would do like reflect, hit reflect in master. Take off Riku's ethers and then put on DP. Alright, Sumi, so what did I do? What was the second limit that I did on Psyx? Pop quiz. Time's up. Failed. You get an F. Okay. So we get caught by the beginning attack. Then we do the building. And now this building RC actually has 3 RCs. So we have to wait for the last one to show up. Clash, breakthrough, and then finish. We use the finish RC. Because it does the most damage. It wasn't Fantasia, it's called Flare Force. You lost. Okay, now we do an air combo with 2 finishers, and then we quick run towards them, and then reflect, hit, reflect. And the reason, I mentioned it before, the reason we do a hit between the reflects is because if we don't do our hit between the reflects, then both reflects will not come out. So, I do that until I hit his second phase. Then when he goes into second phase, he will teleport from here on out. I'm gonna do a Trinity limit. And he's at about 2.4-ish bars of HP. I go into Trinity limit, and then do a flash step into limit form into a full ground combo into R's. And the reason that I don't do the finisher of R's is because the finisher adds a lot of revenge value, so he's gonna teleport away, and also it will knock him away from me, so I can't even catch him again. And it doesn't even do that much damage anyway, so I just don't do it. And then it also allows me to start a new combo before he has a chance to retaliate. And now we do final fights. So we quick run into the buildings and do the RC. Screw skyscrapers. Say that 5 times fast. Quick run towards the core. Once you enter the final door, that's it. It's just, we're in the end game. Like the Avengers. So now we're gonna spam triangle. No, you didn't, Armin. Magnet to get rid of the bombs here and knock him into the core, into the cylinder. I'm gonna switch out Riku so that I can use Trinity limit, group Trinity limit. I didn't really explain the difference, but when you don't have Down and Goofy in your party, use a different Trinity than if you do. So now after breaking the core, we go over here and use 1 magnet, and then I'm going to enter master form after this magnet comes out. And then do a magnet when this one runs out. No, I think I need to destroy one more, yeah. And the reason I enter master form is because if I use magnet in master form on the core, it reacts with it in such a way so that it instantly spawns the nobodies. If I don't do the magnet, then I would have to bring the core down like a bar of HP before this wave of nobody spawns. And then I do a magnet into Trinity, and this Trinity should destroy all of the nobodies, yep. Now I do 2 ethers into Genie summoning, and now the same thing where I do 4 horizontal slashes in a row with Genie cancelling. And by doing this, I force the next wave to spawn. I get hit, magnet into Master Genie limit. The hit is on purpose, by the way, to get positioning right. And then I magnet the creeper. I dismiss Genie, do another magnet, and then enter Trinity and do Ultima, and that should kill all the assassins. And now the finisher is gonna kill the creeper and do damage onto the core itself right there. And then I'm going to go into Vader form to get my MP back, revert, and then use Duck Flare and try to build up my drive so I can use Vader again. So that I have MP for Armor Zeniths. Just like that. And the reason I went to Vader again, just for the MP refill. Now Slide Dash into Guard Break into Reflect, hit Reflect on the Lances, which does 2 reflects of damage, and then Reflect / Reflect again. I'm gonna res Donald. Reflect, Blizzard, Reflect to get a last Reflect in, then start Duck Flare. And now I'm going to wait a little bit before I end Duck Flare because I want him to I want to make sure he dies from it. Okay, so now I end Duck Flare and yeah, I got him. So when the barrier comes out, I want to maximize the amount of reflects that I do on the barrier. So you can use 3 if you do it well. But right there, I only got 2 out. Now Dragon Zone this. We could read more dominations here, but I mean, it's like right at the end. For this fight, what I had to do is use Drain on all the bullets, and there's actually a decent amount that goes into it. So what I'm doing right now is called finisher canceling, like what I did with Genie, where I switch his forms and do an infinite combo. But I use a laser or a drain in between every finisher, so that it allows me to do finishes over and over again. And every finisher destroys the bombs in 1 hit, so it's much faster if I do it that way. But throughout the entire fight, I have to be constantly doing this with my fingers, which is not easy to do. Oh, I pressed triangle. Normally I would hold the laser until this phase, and the laser would destroy the core in 1 hit. But I pressed triangle by accident, so now I have to build my thing back up. There we go. Also, the lasers are really easy to avoid. You just walk around in circles. And now these missiles come out, and it's kind of random if you avoid them or not. It's okay if I get hit though, because you can survive 2 hits by the missiles, and there are 2 missile segments in the fight. But it can still be a bit scary if you get hit by both. That's the thing, is that if I get hit by any of the lasers, I could die really quickly. That's why I have to make sure that I use Drain at the right time. And I can't just spam Drain either. It's not like spammable. If you do that, I think you would probably die. Ow. See, I got hit twice there. Now use Mega Laser on the last swing, and that should get rid of it. Okay, Armor 2. Sadash into Reflect into a 3rd finisher because I used Dark Aura with Riku. And when I use Dark Aura with Riku, it does the same thing. It's a finisher cancel. So I'm able to do more finishers when he does his attack. So right there I was able to use like 5 finishers with Reflect. And that's something I'll be using a lot in this fight. And now we get that building. The buildings are in the same spot every time. The buildings that fly at you are not though, and that's gonna be relevant here after this phase. So I just see what he does after landing. He did a swipe. Now I'm gonna do another finisher or not. Okay, I'm gonna reflect this barrier. Now he's on this last phase, and what I'm going to do here is mash aerial dodge as fast as I can. The point of that was to make the building spawn higher up, so that I'm able to grab this building without it being flung at me. And it's a bit of a faster building compared to the other buildings. And now I think I only have 3 ethers overall. Okay. I don't want to use all my MP. I want to be at like near 4 MP for Final Zemnis. Okay. So yeah, I wait to use the ether until my very last sliver of MP so that I maximize the amount of MP that I have. And I believe I only have 2, which is all I need for in Final Zemnis. Now at the beginning of Final Zemnis, he's going to do a grab move, but if I reflect at the start, I skip the animation of him grabbing me and I just go into the RC. So right here I'm going to be reflecting in between every RC, and the reflect will be doing damage on the real Zemnis because there's a clone of Zemnis that doesn't have an HP bar. And then at the end I'm going to reflect into, well, I'm going to fall down and then reflect into a guard break into session. That wasn't guard break, but don't tell anyone. I'm going to do a full session with triangle on X. It's important that I press triangle on X too, because it maximizes the damage I do with session. Now I use limit form, R's. I use the limit form while he's throwing out the vines to make sure that I don't get hit by it. And then after the R's, I do a full combo into another R's. And then I do 1 hit ether, then a full ground combo into an ether, then reflects to reflect the grab move. And then I do the same thing at the beginning. I reflect at the right time to make the reflect damage come off after the RCs. And that's the fight. He goes into Laser Dome, and we press X and triangle to avoid the attack. Huh. Well, we met Estimate with that run somehow. But the main thing I'm worried about is Zaldin, because I don't know if I can do that. I need to practice it a lot. I think if I spend like a full day practicing it, I'll be fine. Other than that, I feel okay about the rest. So we'll see. Also, hi Natsu. I don't know if I said that earlier. People judge me. Oh yeah, I guess I can fight Sephi. I need to practice Sephi. I'll do that really quick. Oh hey Natsu, what's up? Oh, oops. I'm not doing that, GDQ. Maybe I will. I don't know. There you go. Okay, I hope that was sufficient enough for Spike and